right, so this is officially my first video of the year that I'm actually editing. And so it's also going to be the start of a new segment, Tech Talk with TKK, as you've seen from the intro. What I want to do is I want to make this a series of videos that's going to be really simplistic and to the point. Some of them may be unboxing, some of them may be product reviews, some of them may be how-to guides, right? Like this one. I want to make this real simplistic and to the point on how you can clean your gaming computer. So without further ado, I just wanted to explain what this was. We're just going to go through all the different steps that it's going to take for me to clean this particular computer, and then I'll talk about the parts, and then some different things that you may look into doing if you have a separate configuration, because I don't have any liquid cool system for the processor or anything like that in here. Nothing too elaborate. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and break this apart, take the computer apart, and then we'll talk some more once I get each individual part taken out of the computer. All right, so I got my son here. He's going to help me with this video. So we're going to start by and this is going to be helpful for you if you bought yourself a pre-built computer and you didn't actually build it yourself. You know, you want to just take off the side panels. Right side is going to lead to you actually getting into the internal parts, and then the left side over here is going to be more so for the cable management of things. So with this particular case, every case is going to be a little bit different. As you can see, that dirt and that dust, I mean, that's from the touch. Go ahead and rub your finger just along the lines. You can see that's just a lot of dirt being caked in. It's an intake fan, not an exhaust, so that's why it's on that side of the vent, which is a pretty good thing to have that as a filter. And then when we actually get into this computer, you can see some of the configuration that I have lined out. Actually, let me cut this so I can power it on so you can see better. All right, and with the computer well lit, you got RAM, you know, it's going to be here. We're going to be taking that off. We got your processor fan. We're not actually going to be taking that off. Depending on which kind of processor cooler you do have, you will want to at least take the fan off so that you can clean and get between the fins of the radiator, if you will. We're going to be taking off the rear fan that does exhaust. We'll take the graphics card out. I got 2 capture cards in here. We'll take those out. And then lastly, got another intake fan down here. Not going to take that out, but we'll turn the computer off, and that's what we'll be using cotton swabs for, to kind of brush through to clean those. All right, son, you can shut that down. All right, so got the RAM taken out. Depending on your motherboard, you may have connector removers on the top or the bottom. This is an MSI X570 MPG board, so the flips are going to be on the bottom. Once you pull these down, then the RAM sticks come out. We're removing the graphics card, which has 2 power connectors. Okay, those just plug in like so. So just a little pressure right there just takes that out. Once that comes out, there's a couple of support screws that are inside of the case. Once you unscrew those, then the card will be able to be removed. There's a little latch right under where you see the 4 M.2. That's going to be similar to those tabs for the RAM. That's what's going to hold the graphics card in place to actually be connected to the motherboard. Something to mention, make sure that your workspace is clear so that you'll know all the screws and whatnot that you took out of the computer case, especially if this isn't something that you built yourself. If this is like a pre-built that you got from iBuyPower or something and you're looking to do some maintenance, you want to make sure that you can put back all the screws that they had in place for the computer. All right, so that sound that you heard was the click there. Yep, it's a bit card. So that just came out. You should be able to stand that up, son. Now it should stand up. Yep, there we go. We're good there. All right, so we're gonna also take out the capture card. We got 2 capture cards here. This top one is for the PlayStation 5, the AMD, and then the bottom one down there, the Elgato's for a camera. So we're gonna take both of those out also, just so we can give the entire motherboard a good dusting. Roll back. All right, now we got all those different cards out of there. We're gonna replace, or not replace, but remove the external fan. So let's go ahead and unplug that, son. Don't unplug it, just unscrew it. We'll be able to brush and clean it, because I do have the cable for it routed around on the left side really clean. I'm just gonna have him unscrew it and let it dangle, and then we could just clean it and then put it back. All right, and so like I said, we're just gonna leave this here. There's not too much dirt here, to be honest with you. This computer, I might have put it together few months ago, and the maintenance on this, in my opinion, would be good for every about 6 months. But this lower fan has the bulk of the dirt and dust, just because, like I said, the computer is actually on the carpet. But one thing we will be doing is we'll be unplugging the power supply, and we'll be giving it a good dust below. So let's go ahead and unscrew that. All right, so now that we've got the power supply actually unscrewed, it can be moved. Now, as you can see, one thing I want to encourage you to do is, if you have a dust filter for your power supply, like so, you want to remove that also, so that it can get a good cleaning too, because this is going to act as the filter for the fan that is on the power supply, the same way that this mesh siding of this case is acting as a filter, as you can obviously see, for this 280 millimeter fan that's taking air into this computer to keep all those components chilly. So again, any filters that you do have in the computer case, you want to make sure that you remove those, so those can get a good cleaning also. All right, so most cases are going to come apart by the front too. This is an older case. It does left and right comes off. I don't have any peripherals in front, so I don't have any disk drives or anything like that I need to worry about cleaning. It's just straight, nothing there. We do got a big fan that's down here. It's another 280 mil. So this does right here, this acts as a dust filter for this big fan there too. But the cool thing is that I don't see any real noticeable signs of dust buildup. So this particular cleaning, I'm not going to worry about taking that out, just because I have the cables managed so cleanly. I don't really want to have to put more work in for myself. But you will want to clean that based off of what you do see. And then again, if you're in a situation like I am, which I don't encourage you to put your computer on the carpet, but if you are, then you're going to want to make sure that you are maintaining things. Also, with my power supply, I can't see any crazy buildup of dust. The filter wasn't even that bad. This 140 millimeter fan has also got a little bit of dust built up on it. It's intaking air also. So this fan has this fan here. This case has this fan here, this one in front. It's got a big 280 in the front, or the top, that's exhausting. And then it's got this exhausting. So it's exhaust, intake, intake, intake. So yeah, we're gonna clean up some of these components, wiping some things down and going from there. And lastly, I do have a couple of mechanical drives as well as a couple of solid state drives. With these, I don't need to unplug them. So what we'll do is we'll just wipe them through, because these are like removable trays where you can kind of push and they lock and unlock. So it's all nice and clean. Yeah, it wasn't too bad. And that was the power supply, right? Yes. Yeah, and you can just, after you're done wiping that, you can just go ahead and put that back. Excellent. All right. Yeah, nothing too major, just a quick wipe through them. it's not too bad. I mean, it's not exhausting a ton of dirt. It's not a ton of dust running through here, and I don't plan to ever let it build up as such. But I will say that this case, this front mesh, it does a great job of blocking dust, because looking at it from the touch, I would expect to see a lot more on my components. But this build has been in operation for about 4 months, maybe 5 months. I don't know, somewhere around there. Let me just take a quick look at that Q-tip. And not too bad. A little bit of dirt though. There's some dirt there. But that's all we're doing on that one. As long as you're just using something dry, then you won't have any problems with your fans. You can just wipe them that way. All right, so what we're doing with this processor fan, this is a stock cooler that comes with the AMD Ryzen 5 7 9 configuration. So we're just going to use a Q-tip to just clean some of the dust out. If this were a little bit more aggressive, then I would actually take the cooler off and do a deep clean on it. But just for the aesthetics of this and for the showing, this what I'm going to do is just show you that you can just use a swab and just kind of get in there and clean. You can't really mess anything up. You don't need to, get crazy with trying to jab this in. This, my 15-year-old son, he's seen me put it together enough computers to know what he needs to be doing. Now, when it comes to you using the condensed air for this particular cooler, I would encourage taking the cooler off if you were going to do that, just so that you can thoroughly blow things through in this direction, right? But in my case, although it's dirty, it doesn't need to be that clean. Let me just get a quick look at that. What you got there? Yeah, so you got some good dirt build up there. I'll let you continue doing your thing there. All right, your microfiber is just going to come down for like flat surfaces, wiping those down. It's going to be really good after we do a usage of the condensed air around the RAM and where the graphics card and such is. But yeah, you don't want to get this microfiber too close to a lot of these little pins that are on the motherboard, because if you snag something, that's not going to be a good thing. So you're just using it for flat surfaces. That's about it. All right. You can take it around the front, kind of wipe around where that would be. All right, so we just use that same microfiber to wipe this, and it's pretty much just like dust on the exterior of the case. Nice. Let's give it a blow down with that condensed air. Yeah. When you're using this, use it in small bursts. All right, this graphics card is a RTX 2080. It's got some dust from the touch. Again, the front of it is facing that big fan that's collecting a lot of dust. So it's just giving the graphics cards a nice clean wipe. Graphics card and the capture cards, I'm sorry. Yeah, those shouldn't be too bad though. Just let's focus on like the blades of this, like the fans. Yeah, Q-tip is for the fans. Yeah, and there's not going to be a lot of dust in them. Yeah, the amount of work that you got to put into cleaning this is all going to be based on what exactly it is that, you know, you've let accumulate in the actual computer. But once he gets these all put together, I'll get this thing put back together and close it up, turn it back on, and that'll be that. Okay, well lit. You can go ahead and get this thing put back together, closed up. Everything put back, both capture cards. This case is old school. It's got knobs for the fans. Yeah, man, that's how you can clean your PC. If you got any questions, let me know. Peace.